Hello and welcome, art students. Today we're going to be doing a drawing, and if we get far enough, we can add some color. Today I am going to be drawing using a Sharpie black permanent marker. You, however, can work in a pencil so that you can use an eraser in case if you make a mistake, then you'll be able to erase it. All right. Let's begin. So what are we going to be making today? We're going to be making what's called a cornucopia. Cornucopia is a very fancy, almost horn-shaped item that is recognized for holding the bounty and the plentifulness of the harvest of the fall time, which is right now. So this is a very fun fall festive decoration that you could probably have up hanging around your home somewhere in time for the holiday season. All right, let's begin. To start, we are going to start with the art area of our cornucopia, and we want to leave a lot of room down here in this region of our paper for all of the vegetables or the fruits and whatnot. So leave this area kind of open, and we're going to kind of shape our cornucopia to come up and around and back. Let's get it on the paper. Let's begin. I'm going to start by drawing kind of like the letter C. Something like that. Okay. And then I'm going to create the same thing out a little ways. So this line is going to run parallel to that line. And it's going to come around and stop right about here. This is the rim of our cornucopia. Now we're going to create some lines that follow in a slanted manner, kind of slightly curved if you notice. Okay, so that's the curved edge of our cornucopia. If we slide to the back of our cornucopia right about here, we can draw the part where it kind of funnels and it goes back into space and it curves back around, kind of creating a roundish tail-shaped bottom, comes around again, and it's going to come all the way down to right about here. Cool. Looking good so far. Let's get a little bit detailed here. There's a pattern that happens, and it's going to go like this. So it goes like a bubblish rectangle connected by a short rectangle. Bubble-shaped long rectangle with a short rectangle, bubble-shaped big rectangle, and back at the top. We're going to offset it a little bit, so we're going to find the middle of this one, and we're going to come over, create a little rectangle, long bubble-shaped, long bubble-shaped. Try to get to like right in the middle. Do another short one. See the pattern, how it's happening? Okay, I'm gonna do a long one, followed by a short one. Long one, followed by a short one. Long one. Let's do a short one right here again. And we're going to keep following this back. Eventually you're going to have to start curving it to go with the curve of your cornucopia. In the back it gets really tight. Like that. That looks pretty good. All right. Now that we have that part done, we can show a few items now. The bounty. We'll call this the bounty of the harvest. A really good item I think you gotta have at the bounty of a harvest is definitely a pumpkin. So let's start right there with our pumpkin. I'm gonna draw a pumpkin right about here. This is the stem of my pumpkin, and I'm gonna make it look 3D. Like so. I'm gonna draw those cool detail lines in there to give some texture. All right, and then let's make this a nice round, plump pumpkin. All right, so we're kind of looking at this pumpkin from an upward angle, looking down at it. It's not your traditional pumpkin where you're kind of looking at it straight at its side. It's good for us to change our perspective every now and then. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this area open down here. I'm not gonna close off my pumpkin. So if you already started doing that, use your eraser. Okay, back here I'm gonna do a watermelon. Because why not? Or it could be any kind of melon, really, but some type of melon. Let's do a melon back here. Melons happen to be a fun item. Wavy lines. We can do, maybe this is a squash. Butternut squash, anyone? We can do, up here, let's do an orange. Oranges are very colorful. And let's see here. Let's do some leaves. Some leaves. These are some oak leaves. They look pretty fancy. And then they have the inside part of their stem coming up this way. Coming down this way. Nice. Let's try to repeat that. Let's do another one. Maybe slightly different. Really gives that feeling of fall time, that all the leaves have fallen. Just a good reminder. What is a fall picture without leaves in it, right? Am I right or am I right? There we go, there's another good leaf. We'll draw another line right here, just like in the one before. Here in the background, I think it would be fun to do some grapes. Anybody like grapes? Oh, let's start a battle. Do you like green grapes? If you like green grapes, raise your hand. If you like red grapes, raise your hand. If you don't like grapes, don't raise your hand, because we all like grapes. Just kidding. On grapes, there's some twirly vines. They grow on vines, so I'm going to try to draw a vine here. And let's keep drawing those grapes behind our leaves very carefully. Big round grapes. Grapes, grapes, grapes. See how my grapes are kind of in a bunch? Kind of like when you buy them at the grocery store, right? That's actually how they grow. Right off the vine. Let's draw one grape at the end here. Was about ready to roll right off the table. Maybe outside of our grapes here, we can do a fancy pear. Anybody like pears? I don't really like pears, to be honest, because I think they're kind of boring flavored. Kind of bland, in my opinion. They're not very sweet. And I think it has a weird texture. But that's just my opinion. I'm sure lots of people like pears. How about a juicy red tomato? Let's do a tomato over here, shall we? Tomato right here. Here we go. Here comes a tomato. Look out, everyone. I'm squeezing in a tomato. Oh boy. Here's a tomato. Let's put some leaves on top of our tomato. You know how they have like those little green leaves up there? There we go. Nice. I'm going to leave the bottom of my tomato open, kind of like I did my pumpkin, because look, my pumpkin runs into my tomato because I'm trying to make it look really bunched and crowded. So if you haven't noticed, I'm starting from the way back of my work and I'm coming down towards the viewer. Okay, in front of our tomato, let's do an ear of corn. What in the world? An ear of corn, Mr. Galaki? What does that even mean? That means a whole big corn. It's got the juice. It's got the juice. Okay. I know you know what I mean. Okay. These are the leaves on the corn. And I want to make it look open. So that leaf's going to open that way. This leaf's going to open up down this way. And I went off the paper, and that's good. That's a good problem. Let's have this leaf come over here. And to do corn, it's really easy. You start with a center, and you work your way out. So I'm just going to draw my ears, my little kernels of corn here, going right down the center. Now you know how to draw corn. If you have never drawn corn, it's a wonderful thing. Once I tried it, my whole life changed. Now it's like a wavy line. See how I'm doing my second row? It's not just circles. It's connecting the circles to the halfway point. So from halfway to halfway, halfway to halfway. You just keep repeating that pattern, and then it makes it look like your kernels are really tucked in there tight. And then over here, we do the same thing, just going in the opposite direction, downward. Who likes corn? You like corn? All right, nice. Let's give our leaves some texture. Makes them look all nice and wavy. There. Okay. This is looking good. I'm liking it. Let's do a weird looking squash. Maybe it's an eggplant. Who likes eggplant? Have you ever had an eggplant? Do you even know what an eggplant looks like? Well, you're about to find out. Eggplant is a weird purplish colored, round shaped squash item. And it's a deep dark purple with a green stem. That would be eggplant. Let's do an apple. Ooh, everyone likes apples. Have you ever been to an apple orchard? Let's put a stem on there. We'll come around here and come down and around. I'm gonna squeeze in there a little acorn. There's an acorn. How about a pea pod? A pea pod. A pod of peas. Have you ever heard the saying, oh, they're like 2 peas in a pod? So a pea pod splits open right here, and then on the inside is all the peas. And it's still in the pod. I like the acorn. Let's do a couple more acorns. Let's do one more acorn down here. Acorns grow oak trees. This has been a lot of fun, and it's been really relaxing drawing with you. I hope that you find this relaxing. And what else can we do here? You know what? Why don't you figure it out? Don't mean to make that sound so bossy, but why don't you add one more fruit or maybe one more choice item down here somewhere? I'm trying to think of one last one I could do. I think what I'll do is a cucumber. There we go. And I think I'm done. The only thing you have to do left with any time you have remaining is you'll want to outline your work using a Sharpie Black permanent marker, and then go ahead and color it. You could use colored pencils, you could use crayons, you could use markers. You could use all of those choices if you like. Have fun. Good job, art students. You rock.